Hi Aquarius, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be your reading for September. Grab some headphones and a cup of tea and join me here while we shuffle. Tune into your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect to my higher self and guides so that we can set up a feedback loop. That way the messages that come through will be tailored for you. And if you take a moment here to do that little dialogue, this is very much a personal reading. So please don't multitask while we're doing the reading. I want to make sure that you really get the messages that are here for you and you're not wasting your time. So just be with me and focus. Put your headphones in and settle in. We'll talk about what energies are available for you during this time around the month of September. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Okay, Aquarius. Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You have quite a few people here in your reading. There's King of Swords, Queen of Swords, and two Knights, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. I feel like you could be having a lot of activity this month socially. You could be coming in contact with people that you may not see regularly, but you're somehow having visitors or guests, or you're a guest or you're a visitor, and there's some, like, a lot of exchanging of energy and ideas through conversations and communication. I feel like there's a lot of communication this month. There could also be you have this Justice card at the foundation here of your reading. So some of what is being communicated about are matters of trust, I heard. Some matters of trust being communicated, being discussed, being shared. Major arcana cards you have here in the reading is Magician, Hanged Man, Justice, and Tower. I feel like these three cards, Magician, Justice, and Hanged Man, are very connected. Something similar there. You see, what's standing out to me right now about these three cards is that all the red garments. All the three characters in these cards are wearing red garments. So what I feel with that is that some of the energy that's being processed, or some of the information that's being transmitted, has to do with how you're able to be more stable and grounded in your reality, in your world. There could be issues coming up around where you live. You could be like considering change of location, and there's the Tower card in the final position of the reading, so we'll get to that in a second. But that could also talk about a change of location, a change of living situation, change of home, change of country for some. But let's go back to these three majors here with all this red. That feels really significant. I feel also with these three cards that see how these two cards, the two characters in these two cards are kind of holding up wands or holding something up. And there's an element here with these two cards where I feel like there's some archetypal forces. And I feel that these two are not you, actually. I feel this is you in this reading. So there's these two characters, or these are representative of energies, or it doesn't have to be specifically people. But I feel like this is describing energy that's like cosmic energy that's working, where there is something being brought into your matrix, like into your reality, into your energetic field, your physical energetic field, that's leaving you with this situation here where it seems like you may not have a lot of choice in the matter. Like there's some forces at play that are acting upon you that may be kind of eliminating choice. That's what I hear. Eliminating choice from your ability, from your mind, something like that. Let me see if I can get a little bit more on that. What I'm sensing with this, what I feel is that there is some kind of cosmic energy at play with this, but what I feel is that what it's describing is some events that have occurred that may not have had anything to do with you, but that is having an impact on your choices and your how do I describe that? External events that you were not involved in may be having an effect on your being, on your person. Like you may be having to do things or be a certain way or go somewhere or act on some information that you found out about an event that you weren't involved in, that you weren't present at, that's somehow influencing your travel or your work or your life at home or your decisions that you need to make. Some of it has to do with family. I feel with this Five of Pentacles in reverse in the past and this Ten of Cups in reverse in the outcome, this feels to me connected to that story, and I sense that there's something here about some kind of family financial situation is somehow affecting you. Somehow you are having to carry some responsibility for some kind of financial situation that happened with your family that you were not a part of, that is now influencing you somehow, because you will need to take some of the responsibility of that on. I hope this is making sense. There could be something legal there as well. What else is here? Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands, Devil, Three of Wands reversed, and Fool. What I feel this is saying, and this kind of is, these cards now are helping me understand a little bit better what this main spread was, because I was kind of not really getting it fully. But now what I'm seeing here is that events that have occurred, as I said, are landing on you, and there is this energy here of you having to take some responsibility for other people's actions and decisions. But you actually you don't want that responsibility. You want to go your own way. You want to be free of any burdens or responsibilities from family activities or decisions. And I feel, I'm going to take this actually as well, this Eight of Swords here. I feel that somehow right now you may be in this position, right, Hanged Man, where you are a little bit restricted and bound and limited in your ability to do what you want for yourself. But this is actually what you want, is that your own ability to be completely unfettered and uninhibited and free and able to completely make choices and movements and unrestricted, free thinking, free feeling, free moving action in the world. But at the moment there's a little bit of this energy, I'm afraid to say, Aquarius. So some of it may be, something may have happened. This may have happened suddenly. This information may be coming to you suddenly. Knight of Swords, Tower. Something may have happened suddenly, recently, that is in the realm of what we're discussing here. And it may be a little painful for you, because it does somewhat feel like your freedom is being suppressed or diminished, like your own personal will is not allowed to be fully active right at this moment. And we'll see what the higher octave reading has to say about that. But I feel like, as far as what I can channel here and provide for you with guidance, I feel that there is, this Justice card is quite telling and quite significant in the reading, being that it's here in the unconscious, in the foundation. I feel that while you may not want to take responsibility, this is actually some kind of like, there's a Saturnian aspect to this, the energy that I'm feeling here with the Devil. It's like there's an energy here of course you don't want to be responsible. You didn't make that mistake. You didn't make that decision. Somebody else did, but you are now having to somehow bear the responsibility for that. And I feel that, you know, there's always free will at play, of course, here. You could probably say no if you didn't want to, and not be involved. But what I feel here fundamentally is that karma is at play, and even though it seems like it's nothing to do with you, there is an element here, I feel, of some kind of karmic I'm always really reluctant to use that word because I don't want to be misinterpreted. But I do feel like there's an energy here where there's some greater lesson that is being played out, and that it's actually beneficial to you to participate in this and show responsibility and show maturity and show willingness to support and be involved and contribute to this situation, because your energy actually can help the situation to become very much harmonized and smoothed out. And like there's an energy I'm feeling with this that is kind of there's tension, right? There's tension, there's a little bit of distress, there's worry and anxiety. And I feel that you karmically being involved will be beneficial to you and others, because you can be in service to that energy and help provide comfort and support and love and guidance to individuals who may otherwise really struggle unnecessarily without your wisdom and love and compassion. I hope this is making sense. Like I feel that you can bring these qualities to the reading. Like I feel like your magic, even though I used this card earlier to describe energy that is something outside of you, now this is another message and another interpretation with the same card saying that you actually can contribute greatly. I'm getting goosebumps. You can actually contribute greatly to this circumstance, which is difficult for a group of people, by bringing your qualities, your particular qualities to a circumstance, and really help to diminish fear and worry and stress from people in a way that is actually easy for you, I feel. It's not an ideal situation, but you can manage this. You actually know very well how to handle this situation in a way that will be so, I'm hearing, well rewarded. And that could be in energetic and karmic terms. Like this could be a circumstance or an instance or an example of how you as a conscious being, as a unique independent individual, can be involved or contribute to something which is actually not totally your responsibility. But in doing so, you will be able to clear some karma, clear a lot of karma. And the freedom and reward that you will gain from that need not be the motivation or your agenda. It's not about getting something back for what you give, but knowing that there will be like a reward. I don't know what other words to use there. Energetic karmic reward. It's not necessarily about any kind of reward that you'll get in the earthly physical plane as a result of this help and that support that you give. Like it's not monetary. I don't feel like you're not going to get money out of this, but you will gain respect from those that you are able to help here. And maybe it's also a way here, I'm feeling, to potentially mend some like family stress and strife. Like if there's been an energy where, what I feel now with this, what I'm getting is that if there's some kind of issues within a family where there's been maybe a falling out or excommunication somehow, you may be able to contribute here in a way that will help heal and resolve some really old grievances between individuals, just by the nature of your energy, like bringing this kind of soothing, balm, kind of healing, compassionate energy to a circumstance. I feel that's it for the general reading, Aquarius. I'm going to move on here now to the higher octave spread with the Voyager deck. We're going to use the same spread, and with the higher octave reading, provide some insight into what's actually happening on a karmic and spiritual level. Hopefully provide some guidance and insight onto how best work with the energies available to make the most out of the situation and glean as much as we can from the lessons that we are being dealt. So tune in with me, send your energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages for you. Chariot, Ace of Cups reversed, crossed by the Sage of Crystals, that's this guy, same card. Six of Wands, Empress, Sage of Wands reversed, Hierophant reversed, Ten of Worlds, Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups reversed, Woman of Wands reversed, Strength reversed, Sage of Cups, Judgment, it's called Time Space in this deck, in reverse, Fool reversed, and Hanged Man reverse. Some repeating cards here, as you see. Now, just give me a second here to tune in. You have 3 sages in the reading. Sage of Crystals, Sage of Wands, Sage of Cups. From the Major Arcana, you have Hanged Man reversed, Empress, Fool reversed, Hierophant reversed, Judgment and Strength. A lot of Major Arcana cards in your reading. What I feel is here. I'm hearing preservation. This is very family. That's what I feel with this spread here. There's definitely some kind of family issue that's playing out. Some kind of old grudge. Something like that. It's something like a grudge or some kind of old grievances of excommunication or some kind of bitter feeling. There's something bitter that has happened in the past that is still being held onto. Someone's really holding onto a grudge here. Someone has been holding onto a grudge. That's what I feel. And with this spread and with your energy, what I feel is that you have a big capacity to contribute to a very big healing. It's basically the same as the previous spread. But with all these Major Arcana cards here, it does feel very much like this is a great opportunity for you to rise up in your... Because what I feel is like an event happened a long time ago that had nothing to do with you specifically, except that it was involving family members or people that you know, like friends or family, people that close, like people you grew up with, like. And whatever happened then, as I said, didn't have anything to do with you, but you may have been like separate from your family for a long time, and those people in your family may have, of course, everyone goes on about their life and carries on with their work and their family and etc. But that event is still holding a frequency that is, it's causing resistance and strain, even though people have moved on long ago. And there's something about your ability to participate and be involved in a kind of reconciliation or a healing that is going to free up a lot of energy. It's going to free up a lot of energy. There's some old, I feel like there's some old energy, emotional energy that has just been sitting there stagnating, like sitting on a shelf in someone's living room, and they just like stare at it every night. You know, there's some, you know, even though people move on and whatever, they go about their life, there's some energy that is just, it's almost like, that's what it is. It's like some frozen moment in the time-space continuum of a specific frequency that is just on pause and sitting there and hasn't moved and it's stuck, and it's causing this ripple effect, which, like, that seems like a small detail, but over time, like a small inflection will somehow become very evident as something large over time. Like, let's say you're building a wall and there's a brick that's slightly off. You don't really notice it, but if you keep building and building, eventually, like, the whole wall will be crooked. It's something like that. So the point is, you through your own personal journey over the however many years have passed by since that event occurred, you have developed so many qualities as a healer, as an aware person, as someone who has been cultivating your own energy and working consistently on processing information in a way that it enables your spirit to become very large and vast and connected to a greater wisdom and really embodied in a specific space of a healing energy. And so you may be able to contribute something to a circumstance and a situation that will help release some old grief that's trapped in the time-space continuum. So use your best judgment to see where and how you can participate in a healing of something old and karmic, and use best discernment to know when and how and what to say to the right people at the right moment. Don't try to force something here, is what I'm trying to say. Use your best judgment to be really discerning and particular about timing. Timing's very important here. Use compassion and unconditional love and wisdom and clarity of words. Really be careful, specific and particular about the words you choose. And keep yourself out of it. And what I mean by that is don't let your ego come into play and let you take on sort of some kind of bigger, grander personality and interfere with what's going on. You need to take a perspective of having no personal agenda in the situation for this to really work. Chariot, Fortune, 8 of Cups, 8 of Crystals. Interesting. It's a kind of repeat of what I just said. So you will be able to, again, two more major arcanas coming out here, and 2 8s. Karmic energy here, karmic energy. And what it's telling me is that you may in this specific circumstance channel your wisdom and intellect and intuition in a very precise way to locate that point of grief, to help it release, to shift the wheel of karma and actually change. But see, you've got to be careful that you don't try to take ownership over this situation here. You're just a facilitator. That's really important to remember. You just need to facilitate here. But what you will be able to do if you take the right position here and you do this from a place of unconditional love and wisdom and take yourself out of the picture and just facilitate, is that you will be able to help others shift their karma. And of course you will as well. There's old stagnant energy that needs to move. 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups. There's grief and stagnation. It needs to move. There needs to be a synthesis of events and information to bring understanding and awareness to what's happened so that it can be released and liberated. Because that stagnant energy is actually in a holding pattern that's affecting people's lives in an unconscious way. So, Empress at the foundation. Just bring that loving, compassionate, feminine energy to a circumstance. Take yourself out of it, and you may be able to help facilitate a great family healing in your reality for people that you may actually be. What I feel is like the people that this is about, you're actually quite distant from them because you've taken your own life, you've taken your path. You've been on your personal journey of surrendering to divine will and cultivating practice of personal development and spiritual practice, and that's been your journey. And maybe that's part of what this is actually, is that people around you may have some kind of resentment towards you having taken on that path. And maybe what this is just you revisiting certain spaces and places with people that helps them to see the person that you've become, and that is in itself the healing, you know? I hope this is making sense. I hope you're finding some things in here you can work with. I feel that's it for your reading, Aquarius. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your presence here. Just checking over here to make sure I've got everything. I feel like there's an energy here as well of you being able to come back around to certain people that, as I said, you may have been distant from or disconnected from for a long time. And it's just a way of checking in with yourself too, and like you get to see really exactly where you are and being able to kind of, I'm hearing confront. So there may be something confrontational here, but it could just be about you letting people witness who you are. You know, maybe you felt very judged in the past by people, and that might have been part of what led you to be further away and a little bit more disconnected from certain individuals or environments or places, you know. So I feel like there's a situation here where, you know, if that whole reading nothing to do with you and you don't know what I'm talking about, there's nothing family involved or whatever, I feel that there is something else here for others, that you may be in a situation here where there is some kind of event occurring or some kind of moment. It doesn't have to be a big deal, or it could be just a passing like conversation with someone where you get somehow to witness your own wisdom and development over the course of time. There's some kind of visitation I'm feeling, like some kind of moment where like There's a thread that connects you back to a deep past that helps you see exactly where you are. And let that be a beautiful thing. Let that be healing. Let it resolve. Let it like release. If there's some old grief that's stored, if there's something stagnant stored in you, let a moment of healing happen here where you can just let that go. Thank you so much for watching, Aquarius. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. It means so much to me, and I'll see you in the next reading.